There's 20 famous rappers being released from jail this year, even some rappers who committed the worst crimes imaginable like Lil Durk. Did you know the judge announced Durk's release date? Today it was announced. A judge has granted Durk a bail review hearing in his M for Hire case after his legal team claimed prosecutors used false evidence to secure an indictment. A key video was fan-edited, and lyrics mentioned were recorded before the incident. The hearing is set for May 8th. As court documents revealed, prosecutors have been using fan-made edits as evidence against Durk, which makes the prosecutors look terrible.
Durk's team says Wonderful Wayne and Jackie Boy was recorded 7 months before this actually happened. And the specific version of the song that had audio from the news clipping actually overlaid onto the song is a fan edit, not the original song that Durk recorded and released. Basically, they're saying that the key evidence used to charge Durk were lyrics written and recorded 7 months before the incident even happened, and then an internet mashup that a fan edited and posted.
Durk's lawyers wrote, "In arguing for Mr. Banks' detention, the government has attempted to hold Mr. Banks responsible for video clips that YouTubers and Instagram users have edited, produced, and posted to social media, but with whom Mr. Banks has no affiliation." At the initial detention hearing in this case, the defense called into question the accuracy of paragraph 6 of the superseding indictment, which references lyrics from a song by a recording artist named Babyface Ray that features Mr. Banks. The song lyrics are in Wonderful Wayne and Jackie Boy. Durk raps, "Look on the news and see your son, you screaming no no," as Quando is seen at the crime screaming no.
Right now, the search is on for 3 people who police say at a Savannah rapper, a member of his entourage. It happened in Los Angeles, and cameras captured the aftermath.
This man, a passenger in that car, frantic at the sight.
As Durk's DJ showed the project file of those lyrics being recorded before the passing happened. But did you know, with Durk about to be released, his wife India Royale has been caught cheating? With it reported, Durk's baby mama India was seen at a party with her hand on another man's leg. The footage was released by one of her friends, and the video's screenshots made it even clearer of what was happening. But the next morning, India reacted to the situation.
The family, do we know you? Yeah, you a grown man. Do y'all remember when men used to like lay concrete, change tires, go to war? Now these niggas on the internet gossiping all day. Like, what's happening?
But with this going viral online, academics and 6ix9ine gave their opinions on the situation.
Alright, so you want to bet 10,000 right now that? Hold on.
Told about some other.
We talking about India?
She's a good girl. She's
You met her?
I haven't met her. But
so why you saying she a good girl? Like
because I hear the drama about everybody's relationship, and I know any rapper who could say something about me and they got a public girl, I could tell you who your girl off when she was mad at you. Like, I know all of that. I've never heard no dirt about her. Just to keep it a beat. Never heard nothing about her, period.
Alright, but she gonna be faithful to the trial.
Yes.
Anything after that?
I mean, you never know how it goes. I mean, if somebody, how does it go if somebody's, again, I'm not wishing upon him, but if you get life, like, how'd that go with your girl? She's supposed to be faithful or no?
As the urgency to have Durk released would pick up. So in an attempt to show Durk in a better light, his team released a past video of Durk and captioned it. Durk says it's better to be low-key with your money. If you can't afford 10 Maybachs, don't buy one.
We already came with a plan to be like feature run, album time. We're gonna do that prayer, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do everything in the way that it's gonna be big. I ain't looking at nothing small no more. I'll wear this 5 days straight, what you gonna pay? Durk broke. I sell all this shit. I have one car. It's not that I can't get it. It's I don't give a f. I'm not thinking backwards. If you can't buy 10 Maybachs, don't buy it.
A viral comment even shared, anyone else feel like Durk's team releasing his best motivational moments, softer moments, and overall nice times is a way to package it to show the judge Durk's influence was always good, as he was right. But to further a release attempt of Durk, they used his situation inside jail against the prosecutors. With news revealing, reports state Durk was attacked in his cell block earlier this morning at the LA County Jail. Conditions of the rapper's health isn't public, however, a change of jails is likely. As Durk's lawyers claim, the county jail isn't protecting Durk at all. They are obligated to protect their inmates, yet Durk keeps getting people after him. But what if I told you fans noticed who attacked Durk? Both Quando Rondo and Lil Tim released interviews on the same day Durk was attacked. Many fans noticed it being a weird coincidence, but others believe they did interviews to deter any suspicion to their names. Because in the interviews, they spoke about how they wish all the beef was done with.
No, like, shit, I was just protecting my little brother.
When you did finally find out that it was King Von who did it, how'd you feel?
I was like, damn, if Brian did that stupid shit last night, he still would have been alive. That's how I was. But I was like, shit, I ain't no the type person I am. Like, I'm a humble person. I ain't no disrespect to like his mama saying commit shit like that, because I could easily get on that type of stuff and be clout chasing type. Like, I ain't on that type. I'm a humble person, but it's like they ain't never popped that shit off. That would have never happened like that.
Even Quando Rondo said something similar, saying how he wishes it was handled another way.
Whoever on my side, they got kids and a mama that 100% love them. And at the end of the day, bro, all this bull that we talking about is stupid. That could have been handled a totally different way. It could have been handled to the point where a song and $3-4 million could have came out or whatever. Like, they could have got handled in a legit way, in a music way.
Fans believe it to be true though, as right when Durk was arrested, Kanye talked to Durk on a phone call to check up on him.
Yeah, man, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Just taking a day at a time, you know, just chilling and staying focused for real.
Yeah, I love the time we
from a federal prison.
I love the time we spent in Saudi, man. That was great.
Hey, look, that's all I'm talking about here. You know, the people here, they get their time, and they ain't never experienced the world. So I be telling them stories, and they be on 20.
Wow. Yeah, man. I just got off the phone with Puff. I talked to him for the first time 5 minutes ago. 5 minutes when you called me, yeah.
But while things look positive for Durk, there's a lot worse to come, because the feds made more friends of Durk turn against him, because it was shared. Big U, Bricc Baby, Loose Cannon, and others all arrested in a rollin' 60s gang takedown, as it seems like the feds are gonna use Bricc Baby against him, with sources revealing lawyers believe Bricc Baby, who was arrested in the latest gang takedown, will snitch on Durk. The timings of both arrests make lawyers believe the feds will force Bricc Baby to give everything up on Durk, as feds targeted Durk for the M for hire because of what Bricc Baby said. 3 years ago, he did a live stream interview where he said, "You can't say Durk never slid for Von because they got Lil Pab," but it would quickly turn around on him once Durk was arrested. Bricc Baby was on live stream when he was arrested, and his friends played the old interview where he called out Durk for sliding for Von, making it look like he could have been responsible for putting Durk's name out to the feds.
But was this an attempted hit or
can't say that no more.
Then they put you as
Why?
God.
Like, who died? You can't say that no more.
Oh, because of FBG Cash? Oh, who?
Federal charges in California?
Nah, because Lil Pab.
So this is about the...
Oh! What's that?
But I'm just saying, they just say you can't say that no more.
But Bricc Baby said something even worse, because the feds brought up Durk's lyrical evidence where he rapped, "Told me they got an Addy, go, they got the location, go," and they connected these lyrics to Bricc Baby says that he would have dropped Quando Rondo's location if Durk had asked.
Why is that? Then it's people like, you lined up somebody from your hood. Like, listen, I didn't. But at the end of the day, what's wrong with giving my friend the address? Oh, this is my boy. He lost his boy. Who did it could be around. 9 times out of 10, had he had asked me, I probably would have been if he even asked anybody, if this is even true. But 9 times out of 10, like I said, can I leak a bar?
Sure.
I said if he make the call right now, I'd something.
Right.
But with the feds having Bricc Baby in lockup, they will continue pressing charges against him until he snitches on Durk. But more evidence was found online against Durk by academics, because he outlined the roadmap of crimes that Durk's likely committed the last couple years.
2020 Von, 2021 his brother dies. 2022, the niggas who his brother, they get clapped. The who Von, at least a cousin of theirs get clapped. 2023, he drops an album, I'm almost healed. You ever think about that, Chad? It's like poetic. 2020, Von dies. 2021, his brother dies. 2022, get back for both those situations. 2023, I'm almost healed. Crazy, huh?
Despite Durk already being targeted by Bricc Baby, his own crew is also going against him, because the feds reported that over 230 gigs of digital evidence was being processed for discovery in his trial, which allegedly includes audio recordings, video surveillance, and 20,000 pages of reports, as it's rumored that OTF member Jam is responsible for a majority of the evidence they have on Durk, and it's likely getting Durk indicted on 2 more M for hire charges. With it reported, the feds believe Durk paid to get these 2 people dealt with. The first is Stefan Mack, who got Durk's brother D-Thang gang, and the second is OTF Jam's baby mama, who passed after Durk found out about Jam snitching. Feds think OTF Jam is the key to putting Durk in jail for all 3 crimes. But many fans noticed that in this Instagram live that Jam was feeling around his jacket, making it look like he was actively wearing a wire.
I ain't gonna lie, my whole dream changed. I ain't gonna lie, like back in the day. Oh my! Oh dang! Like back in the day. Look, he took out. Give me the check on your man. I heard you got his head. I ain't gonna lie, man. Hey, when I was growing up, I knew having a dare. Architect. Having a who? What happened to dare? School trying to stop time. All that woofing on the net, it got your man shit. Metro!
But Durk allegedly knew that Jam was informing, because only a couple months before he was arrested, he released an interview where it was reported Durk has been playing 3D chess this entire time. He knew OTF Jam was gonna cooperate.
I see shit from a mile away.
I don't think people realize that.
I could have a conversation with you for 5 seconds and know your is gonna cooperate.
Durk further spoke on the situation and said he stopped anyone from even going to his house at a certain point.
Nobody is ever allowed to my house. It be my best friend never been to my house.
For real?
I promise.
Your best friend?
I promise. Like, it's people like that I just don't allow around my girl and my kids, cause it's like I'm just a different type. I'm not the. We can have family night at Durk house tonight. It's the. You gotta watch.
Everybody at Durk's crib.
Yeah, we gotta. Everybody getting watched. We gotta watch everybody. Hey, you go too. Hey, they go too close to them kids. You know what to do. Like, that's how I play. Like, I don't play.
But crazy enough, Jam's the same guy that Durk gave 50 grand to only a couple years ago.
You know what's name, bro? Steady crying, huh? He steady crying. Feed him. Feed him. Get in the milk, bro. Get in the milk so big mama get the tripping, bro.
You see that?
Feed
for my
him.
baby. That's really how y'all hold y'all babies, ain't it? I gotta hold my money like this. This too much. Crazy though. Motherfuckers sitting up there doing all this. Sneak this and internet games and all this. Up some money, do something. Like, we winning, bro. I can do whatever it is I want to do, I can do it. Just not what I want to do what I want. Y'all can't do that, bro. Goof.
Bro got out what?
You know that
how many you did all?
How many years I did it now?
Yeah. That's your last bit. 12?
12.
That boy popped out 12 years.
Yeah.
So much money. We really was just getting in order to just figure out the lanes, man, boy.
But feds noticed the people in the back of the Instagram live are the same people who took out Lil Pab and are also the same people who were shopping with King Von before he passed, showing that all of them are connected with each other, and it was a clear revenge hit for King Von.
Solitary stone.
We just looked at him.
Let's go over there.
What up, bro?
Boss, you good? My boy.
Let's go.
They got real in here, man, because he just stepped in. The money man just stepped in.
Due to all this, they're pinning another M case against Durk, as the Stefan Mack case could get him in huge trouble. They showed the judge an Instagram story just 30 minutes after Stefan passed away, as Durk wrote on it saying, "For D Thang," which goes hand in hand with a live stream the next day where Durk was laughing about it.
You can't see other shit, boy. What? Tweak on my phones. Hey, somebody always said, slap a car. Yeah. Somebody always said, slap a car.
If Durk's lawyers can get Jam to stop snitching, his release from jail will be easy, because an insider of OTF said, Durk album shortly, but something bigger is happening behind the scenes. All I can say is free Durk, with a lawyer saying he could be released soon.
So it all depends on the hunger of the U.S. attorney and the AUSA that's involved. And if they want this individual badly enough, they'll make very attractive deals for these individuals. What does a very attractive deal look like? I think they go for the lowest hanging fruit. Whoever, didn't actually the guy, maybe someone that was involved that didn't actually, or someone that, but it didn't hit, they're going to have forensics. Yeah. So they'll take whoever is the least culpable, and I think that they'll approach him and make a deal with him, that'll be the most attractive. And if that guy doesn't make a deal, they'll move on to the next guy. So usually that's what happens, right? You go for the lowest hanging fruit first, the guy that you think will flip, the guy that didn't really have that much involvement. And I think what also is interesting with the indictment is it wasn't just money. They're like, oh, it could have been money or it could have been career advancement.
As it was fully announced, Kodak Black's attorney Bradford Cohen says Durk has a chance to beat the King Von and Quando Rondo revenge case unless OTF testifies against him. He says, I'm hesitant to say they have a slam dunk case on Durk Banks. I think they have a long way to go to prove the conspiracy against him.
When it comes to Durk Banks, you know, so far I've seen one text that says don't have them associate my name with any kind of flights that they're taking. Certainly that's not a good text, but is that the only text? Because that doesn't, you know, that in itself doesn't stand on its own. Certainly it's circumstantial. But like I said, we have to wait and see what other evidence they have. If they have a snitch, if they have videotapes or audio tapes of him saying something, I think that's a lot different than, hey, just make sure you don't associate my name with these guys. So I'm hesitant to say that they have, you know, a slam dunk case on Durk Banks.
A rapper who was recently arrested is Kodak Black. Did you know Florida rapper Kodak Black was recently arrested? It was announced. A new status hearing in Kodak Black's felony trafficking and possession case is set for April 28th. As a lawyer in the courtroom wrote, chatter inside the courtroom between prosecutors and law officials makes it sound like Kodak isn't being given another chance. Time to face a sentence, but for how long?
Hey, look, come here. I'm not gonna arrest you on all right? This is just for the time being. Come on, officially. All right. You know your license is no good, but I'm not too worried about that. That's a ticket, right? That's a ticket.
Are you?
As Kodak's been out on a bail for the last few months for this charge. However, his behavior has been terrible. An example is a live stream from 2 weeks ago of Kodak strung out, jumping on his counters, not even speaking English.
Bitch got the sentence. What you want to Mac? Got some sentence. Got the sentence. You been to the boy. Got some sentence. Boy, on you on your back. Yeah, stuck on the mat. Hey, stuck on the mat. Then a bed rest. There's a long nap because she took it out too late and you can't do it back. You can't help.
But did you know Kodak got arrested for this exact charge 2 years ago? On February 28th, 2023, it was announced. Kodak Black admits to being on drank, but denies being on other items after pleading not guilty on possession and firearm charges.
I was on the and I was asleep in front of my family house, bro. That's it. I was on that drink, sleep in front of my people's house. But that ain't illegal. And that ain't illegal. So all that shit is just the process that it had to be in other mud shot. The process that even though like bogus is and plastered all over the internet, then on top of that, it's like, bro, like, I'm Haitian, and then it's just like my era, bro, like, nah, like, man, you better off.
As shortly after this IG Live, the feds would raid Kodak's Florida home and arresting the rapper. While arrested, he hired lawyer Brian Cohen. He was able to secure a deal to have Kodak Black sent to rehab, rather than sitting in jail for 2 years.
Kodak, whose real name is Bill Capri, faced a judge Tuesday in Orange after turning himself in following an arrest warrant issued for violation of his pretrial release. Authorities said he tested positive for during a random test earlier this month.
What is this? Unjust and not right about this situation.
Black, addressing the judge after the pretrial release technician testified he may have mixed up the samples between Black and another patient.
There's no way you tested positive. We can resolve that by way of a hair sample, and that'll clear you.
Judge Barbara Duffy then asking for a hair sample today to clear up the alleged mix-up, which Black refused, rather choosing to check into the Legacy Rehabilitation Facility for 30 days as part of his pretrial release.
However, Kodak Black just committed the same crime again, as the prosecutors will paint a picture of Kodak's recent behavior to aim for a high prison sentence. Kodak's been struggling a lot, and it got so bad that he went on Instagram Live and said he's waiting to pass away.
Everybody getting while we waiting. Other people too, right? Other people, they don't know how to let time do its thing. Hey, bro, like let time do its shit, bro. Time is the best. What you call it? Whether it's gonna heal or whatever it's gonna like, you know, let time do its shit. You gotta be patient. Love is patient. Love is kind. You know, like I'm saying, it makes absolutely zero sense. No sense at all. Try to approach the situation with any type of aggression. The whole world on. Everybody on. Your man on. Your everybody getting. While we waiting. While we just down here waiting on when
What's really upsetting is he read that from a viral tweet which shared, "Every time I see Kodak Black, I get so sad. That man has like 4 baby mamas, and don't none of you greedy women care about him for real, because why aren't y'all helping? Probably sitting around waiting for him to pass away." But this was only the beginning, with more tweets reading, "Every day, I see a new video of Kodak strung out, not even acting like a human. Is someone going to help him?" And one other fan mentioned, "Anyone else afraid if Kodak doesn't get help, we're gonna lose him. Things are bad." As fans got worried after a clip of him eating chicken in the middle of the road went viral.
The wrong thing. Take a seat next to him. Take a seat next to him. Enjoy that food. Enjoy that. Take a seat next to him, brother.
Oh, hold on, please. I want to be part of bro, I want to join them, bro. I want to be down here.
Which prompted Kanye to speak out, asking other rappers to help him.
Okay, so I thought Kodak was in Miami. I see he's in Atlanta. So I'm gonna flight down to Atlanta right now and do something. So anybody that's already down in Atlanta that knows him and knows anything about him, I know I said rappers and all that, but right now, I need y'all, man, to like really go and do something. Like we can't, I know y'all think I'm crashing out. Y'all, you see me talking, I'm expressing myself. And look, man, please don't, I know I said a lot, and just let me go down there and go help this man out.
But it's what happened later in the night that confirmed Kodak needs serious help. Kodak was pacing around his room talking about how he's Drake's favorite rapper, which he could be. However, it's more confirmation that he isn't surrounding himself with the right people. Rather than getting him help, they'd rather record a clip in an attempt to go viral.
I'm Drake's favorite rapper.
Who?
I'm his favorite rapper.
You Drake favorite rapper?
Yeah.
Nah.
He always say that, even his people always say that. They always say that. Even when he, you know what I mean? Even when he ain't around, so shit like, oh, no, it's for real, bro.
However, there's an explanation on how he even got to this point, which is important to hear. Kodak used to be in rehab from when he got a trafficking and possession charge. He went on to restore his life and create better habits for himself. As he started writing music again, working out daily, and overall becoming a better person, he dropped his hit song Walk in his return to music, which gained 33 million views online. Unfortunately, the success would get to his head as he returned to using and appeared on a Kai live stream, where he had extreme sweats, swatting at things that aren't there and shouting random things.
You can't always say it, but at times when it feel good, that's when you say it sometimes. Yeah. I thought your name was Bubba. Hey, oh.
But the morning after the live stream, Kodak hopped on Instagram trying to explain the situation.
Come on, say y'all people like who be on that, y'all be on all type, y'all be on say all type of stupid. But I take you one and y'all be so hurt. Y'all wanna like it anyway. Yeah. Everybody else who be coming like on that timing, they ain't got no motion. They broke, they hurt, they something, or they trying to come into life some kind of way and trying to like look for any type of relationship. Yeah, I could come in that way. Oh, I think you need help. Oh, look, bro, try to like, and then y'all don't think.
Many fans were disappointed he broke his sobriety and made himself look terrible on live stream. But we saw Bunk reach out to help Kodak.
But right now, man, we worried about you. You don't look too healthy. In front of outside looking in, it's obvious that you're and I don't believe for 1 second you just doing for your own enjoyment. Nah, you trying to find something to fill up that void that's within your chest. See, I've been where you at right now. But by the grace of God, I'm clean. Them strongholds have been pulled down. Them chains are broken. So I'm qualified to talk about this. You got to make a decision, bro. You got too many people looking up to you. And from one father to another, got to set the right example for your son. This coming from somebody who genuinely cares. So if you come across this video, you want to sit at the table, break bread, man, holla at me.
Although sure enough, Kodak continued using. Another clip came out from him where he was saying, "I'm not sober. Do I look sober?"
Say I love when Kodak's sober. Change sober. I look sober.
That nigga's going for 2.
I know it's sober. For what? For what? Look at all this money. Look at all this cash. Sober for what? We are sober.
He even showed up to a Ravens football game where he was completely tweaking. With one reporter sharing, NFL fans are worried for rapper Kodak Black's health as he appeared off while showing love to the Ravens.
Hey, Kodak, what you gotta say about the Ravens, big G? I love the Ravens. Hello. Hey, what about that boy LJ, man? What you got to tell the flock about that boy LJ, man? Yeah. Hey, that boy Yak in the city. Yeah, Yak in the city. I live out here. Hello. Yak in the city. Baltimore, let him know.
This was the final straw for many in the rap industry. Watching Kodak go down a terrible spiral, it was clear he needed help, as we saw Wallow and Jilly give life advice to Kodak, saying don't ever doubt yourself. Your babies are counting on you.
Don't ever doubt yourself. You got them babies counting on you. There's gonna be times where you're gonna doubt yourself, you're gonna be in pain, but them babies counting on you, you gotta be here. And I'm telling you that because a lot of people get around you and they see your success and they say, oh man, a lot of people need you, and they yes man you. I ain't here to yes man you. You know me, every time we connect with you, you know I got love for you. Not because I need you, I got love for you because you're a young cat and I was young, Gil was young. Live. And I'm telling you that because you see that love that lady get, you see how you light up when I talk about your babies? Live. These people wanna laugh, they wanna joke, they wanna criticize. They don't know your pain, I don't know your pain. But I know one thing, them babies counting on you.
Trying to reason with Kodak on his recent struggles, as his life is much bigger than just him. According to Google, he has 5 kids, and he is the main breadwinner for his household. So he can't just be messing around all the time and giving up on his responsibilities like he's been doing. But somehow the next day he was invited to the White House, where he started rambling in front of everybody.
So like, imagine a world if all of us was just one color. If all of us was just blue or green. Oh, if everybody was smart, you gotta have some dope people. Oh, what if everybody was rich? Who's gonna take the trash out?
With this going viral online, Kodak responded and apologized for his recent actions.
I'm honestly, I'm sorry to everybody. I'm sorry to the people who I heard it. I'm sorry if you don't understand me. I'm sorry if you just don't like me. I'm sorry, and I'm sorry, and I'm sorry to everybody that I've wronged, and I'm so sorry to all the times I made my mom cry, and I'm sorry to all the girls whose heart I broke. I'm sorry to Young Miami, you know what I'm saying, for kind of disrespecting her and stuff like that. She accepted my apology.
She did?
Unfortunately, since the apology, he's responded to Kanye by saying, Kanye a real one. You know why he a real one? Kanye the only guy who still likes Diddy. I'm pretty sure the Fed's gonna seize all that boy's accounts. Kanye just did some real stuff.
Sleep when people done woke me up yay. Kanye a real one. You know why you a real one? Cause I'm some whole Kanye the only still did it because he know he ain't a lot of the other look at me. I'm clean up in her why Kanye
But the worst part is the evidence of him tweaking could be used against him in his new case, and may lead to him getting put behind bars once again. However, YNW Melly's situation is very different, as he's now running out of money. Did you know YNW Melly's made several $1 million in his rap career but has nothing to show for it? Melly was arrested on February 13th, 2019 for sack chaser and juvie's passing, which led to his career stalling, especially when factoring in lawyer fees, mortgage for his mother's home, and money to live while in jail. With Melly's expenses stacking up, his mother broke the internet with the announcement. Melly's mom trends after she announces that she started a fans account while he stands trial, as she was featured in an interview on why she did it and how much she made.
Why did you decide to break the internet the other day? You're saying that you're YNW Melly's mom and you're about to hit fans.
Why not? You make money while you sleep, and I turned 40 this year. Why not do something crazy?
Did you start it yet though?
What? My only? Yeah.
How much you made the first day? I just need to know the first day.
The first day was pretty epic. It was pretty epic.
Give me a ballpark figure.
Like 40-ish, 50.
One day?
Day one.
This took the internet by storm, with DJ Academic saying,
So YNW Melly's mom has announced that she's gonna be starting her own. And I gotta be honest with y'all, man, this is perplexing. The reason why it's perplexing is because I can't understand why she's doing this. Your son is fighting for his life. How much, there's certain mothers in hip hop, and you probably could name a few, I won't name all of them, that I feel like Their son became stars, but they also wanted to be stars as well. Blueface's mom is one of them. The situation between Melly's mom and Melly, I always thought was interesting, but I never thought she'd be doing this. If you're wondering if she's doing this for money, this can't be a money play. Like, no way, no how.
With academics believing it's not about money, fans would disagree, because a No Jumper interview had Melly's brother and mother talking about him, where his brother calls out Melly for blowing his money.
I would assume
But it's still
that he spent a lot of money on lawyers. Like an amount that would probably...
That kid spent a lot of money on a lot of things that shouldn't have been spent on.
Really? Like what else?
And cars, jewelry. And he's not even out to wear the jewelry. I'm like, why are you buying jewelry? You're not here to wear the jewelry.
No, definitely lawyers are probably the best thing you can spend
That's
money
what
on.
bro. But he's good with lawyers, bro. Like, money ain't an issue for lawyers. Like, he's fine, but it's just like, there was a lot of stuff that should have went to lawyers that he didn't spend on lawyers. And I'm like, bro. And now it's like, he don't even want the chain no more.
Although it's important to note what Jamie King's been going through, her starting the fans account could be a distraction from having to deal with Melly's case, as Melly's had to check in on her time and time again to make sure she's doing okay. However, the financial struggles for Melly will only get worse with his ex-girlfriend now getting involved in the trial. With it announced, Melly's ex-girlfriend Mariah Hamilton has been released from Paul Reed Detention Facility. Judge Fiend ruled for her release in February, and that hearing marked the first time Melly and Mariah had seen each other since he surrendered himself to the Broward Sheriff's Office in 2019. As Melly was seen walking into the courtroom and seeing Mariah for the first time in 6 years, smiling massively, trying not to make too much eye contact. But sources from court say he teared up. His ex-girlfriend later thanked her family for helping support her, where she posted, "And to my village, thank you to my village, I love y'all so much, God's plan, not mine," as she didn't like how it was broadcasted to the local news.
Mariah Hamilton is spending her first day at the Broward County Jail. She has no arrest record until now. U.S. Border Patrol agents arrested her at Miami International Airport Monday after she arrived on an international flight. Court records show Hamilton was ordered to testify in Demon's first trial in 2023.
But Mariah knows how jail was and she doesn't want to go back. In order for her to grant the release, the prosecutors made her confirm she will testify against Melly in the upcoming trial. The feds already know what went down with Sack Chaser and Juvie, they just need her to confirm it. The feds exposed findings from her iCloud account, which notes that Melly was allegedly messaging her and forcing her not to testify in the first trial, as this counts as witness tampering and is punishable with a life sentence against Melly.
The state filing 6 new charges against Demons and 2 others who were allegedly involved. The charges include tampering with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal, solicitation or conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Now, a couple of those charges actually carry a life in prison sentence if there's a conviction.
The witness tampering case would be separate from his existing case of Sack Chaser and Juvie's passing, which means more lawyer fees. But it's clear to the feds she knows more about the crime, as even Juvie's father did some investigating into her, as he found out what the code words were that Melly was using to get her to not testify.
Jamel Demons, YNW Melly, and Cortland Henry, who is known as YNW Portland, are now charged with witness tampering. There was this kind of crazy way that Melly was communicating. He wasn't allowed to use the phone, but he was passing notes to people, and then this person's calling this person and then that person.
Saying like to me, they going through extreme measures, trying to cover up or convince people not to testify, like Mariah mom. They was using code words like Rihanna and A$AP Rocky's baby mom. And
as if Melly's found guilty on the witness tampering, he will be sentenced to life regardless if he's found guilty of taking out Sack Chaser and Juvie. But with Melly's witness tampering case starting, the jail hasn't allowed him to use the jail phone or read his mail for months, as his mother spoke out about how it's not fair and that other criminals that were actually convicted are still able to use the jail phones.
My son has not been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to just to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail, they don't give it to him.
One main problem for Melly is that if they're keeping him off the phones, that means they likely already have evidence of him committing the witness tampering, as they wouldn't risk a lawsuit if they didn't know Melly was guilty. But his mother spoke further about Melly, saying how she's truly heartbroken for her son and feels helpless because he's not even being treated like a human inside jail.
When you saw Melly's statement, just saying how he's been hurt, how he's scared for his life, as a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless. Broward Sheriff's Office definitely needs to be investigated. I mean, they are making up their own rules. We tried to go to court about this situation. The judge really doesn't have any jurisdiction when it comes to the jail, because we actually had a hearing about the mistreatment of him, and the jail they make their own rules. And I don't think that's fair, because I know that they need to answer to someone too.
But Melly's case has gained a lot of attention online, as we heard Charleston White give his thoughts on the case, saying that Melly shouldn't get any special treatment for what he did.
Even the YNW Melly, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated. Yeah, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated, homie. Homie, when you take a life, homie, you ain't got a right to complain about a motherfucking thing about being mistreated when you done chose to play somebody.
As we got the attention of Boosie, who spoke on Jamie King's stress from the trial.
Okay, so
then I met his mama while he was in.
Oh, okay.
I met his mom while he was in, and she real, bro. You know, she real.
She's stressed out. I heard she had a.
Yeah, she real, and I reached my hand out to him, cause I'm real. Yeah, I reached out to him, bro. I met his mom, and she a good woman, bro. And when I see them mamas like that, it remind me of what my mom was going through, bro.
Melly's lawyers then tried arguing in court his innocence, saying to the new judge that no firearm was even found, trying any possible way to earn him a bond.
So the first thing is I didn't have a firearm, so I can't know which firearm I'm going to use in order to replicate any of my tests. So I can't make tests for this determination because I don't know what firearm was used.
Okay.
They even shared GPS evidence to the judge and brought up his ex-girlfriend texting him while the crime went down.
That would be the part where he's saying that someone just shot the car up and was trying to shoot him. So I asked him if he was okay, where he was, and he's like, there's a car coming behind him, like hiding. He was like, there's some, yeah. He's like, yeah, there's some. I think they're still out here or something. So I'm like, are you okay? He's like, I'm okay. I said, well, where are Sack and Juvie? And he said, I don't know if they're in the car. I think they're...
But sadly, this wouldn't be nearly enough to have Melly released from jail. Despite the retrial taking forever to come around, the prosecutors investigated Melly more and more, as they're using the extended time to make their case even stronger against Melly's defense, which led them to the exact motive behind Sack Chaser and Juvie's passings, because a former O-Block member shared a secret Melly told King Von, which was Melly asking Von how to deal with a financial issue with Sack Chaser and Juvie.
Did Von really tell you that Melly told him that he was two friends?
He ain't come out and say, like, we got into an argument. And so, you know, if you know, when people could say something without saying it. And so he told me, like, once I posted what I posted, Von was mad at me. Bro, why you put up there, bro? Walk the bam. I'm like, you sitting up here, like, you know the love we got. You do this for us, but you gonna trust that his two friends? And he said, them was trying to extort him. And so I'm like, if they was trying to extort him, then why are you still around them?
As this makes it seem like Sack Chaser and Juvie were ripping a big part of Melly's profits from the YNW business without doing much work, as most of the work was put in by Bortland and Melly, who sold merchandise, did concerts and brand deals in exchange for money. Sack Chaser and Juvie did much less work than them, yet they still split the revenues of the company equally. So Melly didn't want to have to keep paying them money, which is the reasoning for the passings. Plus, if you know how Von used to be in the streets, you can imagine what advice he would have given Melly and how to handle it, as this was a large missing part of the prosecutor's case in the first trial, and when you pair it to phone messages from Melly on the same night, it's concerning.
The PC Gambino account asked him if he was okay, and his response was, I did that, and placed a smiley face emoji.
And the next message from 10/26/2018 at 16:02 from Eastern Standard Time. The YNW Melly count says what?
After that, SHHHH.
But also on Melly's phone was a Facebook Live video, which shows Bortlen and Melly having no sadness only 6 hours after the crime.
Melly still turned regardless of what happened this early morning. He's still out here being very positive. Turned still. Hey! No, still turned. Regardless of what happened, you already know.
Showing no sadness for their best friends. It's a clear sign Melly and Bortlen could have been behind the hit, but they also investigated the physical Jeep that they were in on the night of the crime. As Sergeant Williams revealed, there's no way it could have been a drive-by.
How many rounds were inside the car?
3. From the driver's side back seat.
As to the shot that Christopher Thomas, where did that emanate from?
Driver's side back seat.
Oh.
My determination was that this is not a drive-by, and it's based upon this picture here. At a stationary position when all but one of these rounds are going in. The one round that has some movement in it, which is round site L here, the actually moving in that.
As Williams revealed, the crime had to have happened from inside the vehicle, and Juvie's mother said who was sitting in the seat where the suspect is alleged to have been in.
Can you state your name, your full legal name for the jury?
Leon Phillips.
Okay. And are you related to one of the victims in this case?
Yes, I am.
How so?
I'm his mother.
And who is that?
Christopher Thomas.
Ms. Phillips, did you see who entered into the occupants who entered into that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Do you recognize where your son entered that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Which seat, if you can identify for the jury?
He got in the back seat on the right hand side.
Did you recognize the individual that got into the back seat on the left side, the rear driver's side?
Yes.
And who was that individual?
Janelle.
However, a rapper currently being looked at in a RICO case is Lil Baby. Did you know the feds have been gathering evidence on Lil Baby? Because they're targeting him with a RICO that has him involved in the passing of 2 individuals. His days are numbered. It was announced the head of the Georgia PD Council's gang unit says his office is preparing to defend against a potential 4 PF RICO. When this was announced in court, an investigator in the crowd wrote, "Investigator V is on the stand. We are listening to wiretap calls." Someone mentioned that Lil Baby had tickets on some people's heads, meaning Lil Baby placed money to have people dealt with, similar to Durk's M for hire. As academics would explain, the city of Atlanta is getting ready to pursue 4 PF and Lil Baby on these charges.
So there's this journalist. He's out of Atlanta. Well-reputed journalist. His name is George Cheedy. Like, he was the person who was very accurate on predicting that YSL was going to get indicted in the RICO. He's an Atlanta journalist, certified. He's really good. He's came out and he said that the Atlanta Public Defenders Council, like the office, they're basically their specialized unit for Georgia's Public Defender's Office. The one the unit that specializes on gang cases says the office is actively preparing for a racketeering indictment on the 4 PF and OMF case. Now I don't know what OMF is, and that he expects Lil Baby to be indicted.
Reports announced gang investigator Marissa plays wiretap in court, alleging that Atlanta rapper Lil Baby put money on people's heads. In the footage, Marissa claims that Dominique Jones, aka Lil Baby, put bounties on people's heads.
Like, come on, bro, you know what's finna go on. Like, how the hell you can, you know what I'm saying?
They ain't even like that, man. Them got tickets on a lot of these folks, I'm telling you.
We just heard somebody say these folks got tickets on these people. We know what's going on. First of all, who was that said that about the tickets?
Unc, the unidentified male that was being referred to as Unc.
And he's speaking with Mr. Sanders?
Correct.
And what, in your experience, do you know what tickets are?
A price on somebody's head.
What do you mean by what do you mean on somebody's head? What is that?
Like a bounty.
Okay. To have them arrested?
Harm.
And who were they referring to in that portion of the call?
They were saying that they had heard that Dominique Jones had tickets on a lot of people's heads.
Dominique Jones wanted to have people harmed.
Correct.
All right, moving on.
This drew Young Thug's attention, who tweeted "biggest liar in the DA's office," which exposed Marissa's identity and accused her of lying. DJ Academics later explained Marissa's role in the case, claiming she was an undercover officer working to take down Lil Baby.
So there's someone named Marissa Viverito. This person was a undercover cop. Now, what she testified to and spoke to, it's related to the Lil Baby 4PF. So 4PF are beefing with these guys called OMF, which is part of this like bigger like gang called like Goodfellas. And those guys, some of them got indicted federally. Remember when Lil Baby shot the music video in that hood? These guys, they shot the music video that Lil Baby was at. Allegedly, some 4PF dudes went to go to retaliate, and then they came back to spin back on Lil Baby, or not Lil Baby, let's just say 4PF. The investigator that was supposed to be undercover is someone named Marissa Viverito. She testified to a few things. Yo, these OMF dudes are beefing with 4PF. We got wiretaps, so this is how you know an indictment definitely is coming.
Snoop Dogg also tapped in, tweeting, "First Young Thug and now Lil Baby being played by that Atlanta DA. Y'all Atlanta rappers be careful out there." Shortly after, news reports dropped a major update. Lil Baby taken into county jail for questioning on the passing of Jacody Davis and Lamont Freeman. Police questioned why he closed 4PF after the crime took place. When asked in an interview about why Baby shut down 4PF, his answer was odd as he shared this.
First 4 pockets full had to come to an end. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. When you say of course, I mean, why you say of course?
Because it's all shit that be going on. And I had to start learning that, like, other people's actions I could be held accountable for.
Right.
I ain't know all that at first. You know what I'm saying? I never would have went that route, but I ain't know. You know what I'm saying? Now that I know, I'd be a fool to just keep the same thing going. They trying to make something out of something that it ain't.
Right.
Like, if I got any kind of control of, hey, we're gonna switch that whole thing up. It ain't even just about the police, it's just period. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never was supposed to make my label something that I talk about.
Although a concerning part was that tweets went viral sharing. If Lil Baby does get RICO'd, his career is just done. Bro's music is already hanging on by a thread, which is exactly how Academics spoke about Baby's latest album.
Man, you better listen. I don't know if Young Thug's still just on a vacation. Tell him you need him. You need him for a verse, a song. You probably need him to pop out his loud for you because it would have made it all better. You need this, okay? Please. Yo, the crazy thing is Lil Baby confidently be previewing these. It's like, yo, they're hot. Yo, chat, I feel like the Monstars hopped out of one of them New Jersey drones and grabbed Lil Baby and shook the talent out of him. I don't know what I'm hearing thus far, chat.
Either way, it's starting to look like Lil Baby's situation is spiraling. Authorities released a statement. The Atlanta Police Department is calling out Lil Baby, saying his actions led to the passing of 2 young individuals last summer. They said 7 arrests were made in relation to the passings of Jacody Davis and Lamont Freeman. As Major Ralph explained, the crime came from a conflict with street teams who went after Lil Baby at his video shoot, where 3 people were hit last May. But the officer clearly stated, "This team will work relentlessly to hold you accountable," referring to Lil Baby.
The investigation aspect of this, Lamont Freeman was allowed to be a 13-year-old for 27 minutes before gang violence ultimately took his life. Gang violence was orchestrated by adults in our city, and cowardly acts of an Atlanta-based rapper that decided to go over into a rival gang stronghold and shoot a music video in a place that he knew he should not have been. And in the subsequent days, we saw and ultimately the deaths of 2 children as a result of his cowardly actions. And you know who you are. And I tell you that this team will work relentlessly to hold you and the persons that you are affiliated with responsible for those actions.
The incident occurred while Lil Baby filmed a music video on rival territory near a taco shop. Weirdly enough, the woman that spoke on the news was the one who unknowingly tipped off Baby's rivals, because she posted on Facebook, "Lil Baby's at the taco shop with 3 cars."
Where y'all at? We over here kicking in. We got Lil Baby shooting a video around here. We know how we do it at Slapping Taco. Baby, there he go, there he go. Y'all see him? He came to get him some tacos, baby. Y'all better pull up. Cause you already know how we doing this Slapping Tacos, baby.
Police said the rivals had no clue Lil Baby was there until they saw her post, yet they're still blaming Baby for the incident, which had fans bringing up good points like how this viral tweet reads, "The Atlanta DA wasn't successful getting Young Thug. Watch, she will now target Lil Baby and use him as an example for the rest of the rappers, supplying gangs with fame, money, and items for street crimes." But this gives answers to one huge question everyone had about Lil Baby, which was, why did he shut down 4PF? But it's now clear he was worried about legal issues. It was even reported Baby's new album, Wham, was a rushed release due to legal battles coming his way. Him closing 4PF was the first sign, and the feds had already warned the public about his alleged involvement in crimes in Atlanta.
An in-depth investigation. Recent months you've had 2 high-profile racketeering cases. There are going to be more.
Over the next 60 days, you'll see 2 more.
DJ Academics had also revealed that District Attorney Fani Willis was setting up a trap for rappers, because it was announced a week later, Baby was arrested Monday night for carrying a concealed firearm without a permit and was sent to the Clark County Detention Center where he was being held on $5,000 bail.
I need 20 bands, call his number for me. Hey, security, the black guy, call his number for me. They locking me up for a but I got license. Security, I give you 200 bands a year, I swear to God, security. Security, I give you 200 bands a year. You don't make 200 bands here. Hey, lady, my check leave at 9:10. Nah, check me good, I got a in my nut. Check me good, you on the camera, I got a my nut, check me good. I got a alright, y'all let me in that car, shoot myself in the head, y'all fire.
But this situation runs way deeper than a single arrest. 8 months ago, DJ Academics went live and showed evidence files naming 4PF in the same RICO documents that also listed YSL.
I've heard 2 of them. Like, I've heard the 2 of them. They're like, yo, these are going first, then these are going first. I've heard the names. And I don't know if I should say it. Again, I got nothing to do with no investigation for nothing, whatever, but these are top rappers. Well, one's a top rapper. The other one, matter of fact, I'll do the segment without saying the name. I'll just say this. I believe you know who the obvious name is. They're in Atlanta. They go by three letters. They've been popping. One of the top, I would say, 3 rappers in the game.
Now that the YSL case is wrapped up, Academics has started to reveal everything, suggesting Baby's latest arrests are warnings of an incoming RICO charge.
I'm gonna tell you some things that you're gonna have to take my word or don't believe it. It's fine. I don't care either or. When Fani Willis started targeting YSL, Fani Willis had a bunch of people to target. She wanted Doug. She got YFN. So she got YSL, YFN. Eventually, they were gonna get to 4PF. That's one of the reasons they changed their names, by the way. Except, from what I heard, the feds told them, it's okay, we got it. So the feds told him, like, it's okay if you dismiss the charge. So they didn't go that hard with trying to get Durk, especially after Von died. They dropped that case. They dropped it, but the feds has realized we gonna get Durk eventually. You doing the math? You see why Lil Baby was moving the way he been? Because Lil Baby hasn't been on Fed watch. He's been on county, state watch.
As this has many worried that since Fani couldn't get Thug behind bars, her focus has moved to Lil Baby, as they had already given Lil Baby multiple warnings and signs, with one moment being that Baby got arrested over an illegal window tint, something that's typically a small fine, turned into an entire arrest where he spent most of the night in jail.
Huh? Man, you know why I pull you over? These windows, they tinted. You can't see nothing out.
I'm a celebrity, man. Nobody can't see me. Give me my ticket. Let me ride.
I don't know what celebrity you are.
It don't matter. They give me my ticket. Let me ride. I can't have nobody seeing me right here. I'm gonna let my window up.
Oh yeah, you good, but you can't have that tinted window, man.
Alright, they give me a ticket. Have a good day, man.
Now, who are you? You say you
My name Lil Baby.
Okay, I just need you to sign right here, okay?
You got a pen? 827. You don't be want to have you gotta have tints in that level. You folk crazy. I take a ticket and somebody follow me home.
Put a 32.
Huh?
You can put a 32. If you got a medical exception, you can get the tint.
The body cam footage cut off there, but Baby received his ticket and went on his way. Shortly after, though, he was stopped after his name was flagged in the police's computer system, as the second officer quickly arrested him for unknown reasons. Luckily, Lil Baby flew out his lawyer, who quickly bailed him out before he slept through the night. With all of these run-ins with the law, it seems like Baby's being targeted, and many believe it's a former best friend who recently snitched, being rapper Gunna, which is why when Thug was released from jail, he instantly spoke out against Gunna, because he tweeted, "Wham, let's drop one on these rats." The nickname Wham refers to Lil Baby, because it wasn't long ago that Gunna was caught snitching out of the YSL RICO case. Baby answered Young Thug on Instagram by saying, "We should." However, Thug had to let everyone know he didn't still rock with Gunna, because he tweeted, "Gunna, stop acting like we friends on the internet. I don't know you, my guy." That post caught the attention of both Gunna and his brother, with Gunna's brother responding, "Trust and believe the feeling is mutual." But Young Thug doesn't care. He sneak dissed Gunna by going on Instagram later that night and saying how he got out of the case the right way.
Hey man, what you got to tell these people?
Back. Back, Jack.
You feel me?
You did.
Hey man, ain't no cap in it.
No cap in my rap.
You feel what I'm saying?
The right way.
It's time.
The right way, bro.
You feel what I'm saying?
Right way.
Yeah, that way.
Yeah.
And go tell that.
The message to Gunna was clear. Thug did his time and got home the right way. But there's more issues that may come of Thug talking about Gunna, because academics outlined that Thug's plea deal requires him to stay out of any serious beef or street issues with other people. If he breaks it, he will go back to prison for 20 years. Not only will it get Thug back in prison, but it could drag Lil Baby down with him as they're already investigating him.
I know some of his fans think he beat the case. He definitely didn't beat the case. Beat the case means you got no stipulations. The Young Thug thing is a win, but it's also a huge setup. If you gonna tell me that they're gonna monitor him on a probationary basis for 15 years, can't be in Atlanta, can't communicate with co-defendants or gang members, he can't rap about, he can't promote any music that has to do with what they believe is activity. But he's always gonna talk about him and he's doing his thing. They might consider that activity. He might be like, yo, me is like, yo, we going to the park getting lit. We going to the club getting lit. They might be like, oh no, you talking about the game. So, we celebrating right now because I think we could all see, if you follow that trial at all, whether you're a fan of Thug or not, you can see the pain, you can see this was going through it. Like, he gained a lot of weight. Everybody knows Thug was not that weight, so we happy he got out, but we definitely got to be very cognizant of how it's going to play out.
A rapper recently released from jail is NBA YoungBoy. However, he may return to jail. Did you know NBA YoungBoy was released from jail due to snitching? Rappers exposed him for it as it was announced. Looks like YoungBoy has been released from federal prison and either transferred to a halfway house or is headed home. I'll confirm soon. It's since been confirmed YoungBoy's home, but rappers are confused because No Jumper announced Famous Richard says NBA YoungBoy is working with the feds, with an Instagram post reading, "YoungBoy's telling this is the third time getting released from the feds within 4 years on different charges. On King David, you can't do 10 months of a 23-month sentence. My first offer was 5 years for firearm possession. YoungBoy's definitely the police. He probably the reason Smirk's locked up, as fans showed this clip of YoungBoy just walking around in prison."
That is.
But alongside the video was the tweet of, "Honestly, I kind of believe it too. The timing, the energy, the way things are playing out, it's all looking a little too convenient. Wouldn't be the first time someone played both sides. In this game, you never really know who's working with who. But to understand why YoungBoy could have snitched, it's important to look back at when he was sentenced. Because when he showed up to court, YoungBoy's fans were yelling in the court's Zoom call to free him.
Free YB, man. Free YB.
Everyone needs to stay muted. Okay.
Free YB.
All right. Mr. Golden's case has already been called. He's done with court today. For those of you interested, everyone keep yourselves muted.
Free YB. Free YB.
Free YB.
YoungBoy entered the courtroom moments later, where he smiled after seeing his fans share their love for him. However, as he made his way into the courtroom, YoungBoy signed an official paper indicating that he understands English and that his education stopped at the 8th grade. But did you know YoungBoy could return behind bars? Because court documents from his release mentioned that on March 10th, 2021, YoungBoy was arrested and charged with possessing a firearm as a convicted felon and in possession of an unregistered firearm. When it went down, YoungBoy was outside filming a music video with some friends, blasting loud music and dancing on top of cars. Unfortunately, a lady down the street got concerned and dialed 911. As she detailed, there were several men dancing with firearms in the air, and right as the officers arrived, they identified YoungBoy and placed him under arrest.
So yesterday at court, the body cam footage of the officer who put the cuffs on YoungBoy back in September during that music video, the cop comes right up to him, whatever, he puts the cuffs on him, And then YoungBoy's reaction is kind of hilarious. I thought it might be interesting for y'all. He was like, yo, big dog, man, what you doing, man? Why you putting these cuffs on me? That's what he was calling the cop. He was calling the cop big dog. He's like, big dog, you up right now. I didn't do nothing. You can search me. I got nothing on me. Cop doesn't listen. Cop puts him in and the whole time YoungBoy's like, yo, man, what you doing, man? Big dog, why? And it really goes to show you a lot about this case. YoungBoy didn't think he did anything wrong. He didn't think that they were going to go and start taking footage from music videos and said, you held a gun in a music video and you're a felon and that's a federal felony and you're going to face 3 to 5 years. No, and it really shows you that these federal laws, as applied to kids like NBA YoungBoy from the hood, are extremely unfair and extremely punitive, and we need to take a good long look on what's going on there.
While officers were putting YoungBoy in handcuffs, his cameraman tried to erase the video footage, as he knew it could incriminate YoungBoy for holding a firearm. But before the footage was all deleted, police seized the camera, giving federal agents video proof of YoungBoy with firearms. In his defense, his lawyers tried claiming the camera was taken illegally, but it didn't hold up in court. With it reported, YoungBoy has lost his appeal with the feds, and now prosecutors can use footage of him holding firearms to convict him.
Update on NBA YoungBoy. He lost the appeal with the federal appeals court. He can take it up to the Supreme Court. What happened? So the federal judge, the lower court, ruled in his favor. She said that the video of him holding what looks like to be a is suppressed. Can't be used at trial against him. The way you guys obtained it, you violated his constitutional rights. Now, the government went to the Fifth Circuit United States Court of Appeals. The Fifth Circuit said, you know what, we have a different decision, and we're going to say that the government can use that evidence. It is going to be allowed in the case.
Seeing that things weren't going his way, YoungBoy realized he had no choice but to accept a plea deal. Right before the official sentencing was announced, the judge gave YoungBoy a positive message about him being robbed of his talent and potential due to his addiction, and wished him the best of luck after he's out of prison.
Mr. Golden, I've seen so many times that good men and women who have a lot of talent and potential, that they can be robbed of that potential when they start to really struggle with their addiction. So I don't want that for you. You seem like a very talented young man. I'm hoping in your future that once you're done with your federal prison time, that you can be really successful on federal probation and have a really bright future where you can reach your full potential in every aspect of your life. Best of luck to you, Mr. Golden.
Thank you, Your Honor. That's all I have, if I could be excused.
You may.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you all.
So YoungBoy was sentenced to 23 months officially. However, his lawyer later announced, I wrapped up YoungBoy's case. He got 23 months, but because of the way we worked it with credit on another case in Louisiana, he should be out in 3 or 4 months. With overcrowded prisons, it made his release even quicker, as this was hinted in an interview with Rich the Kid and Academics, where they agreed that YoungBoy would be out very soon.
Drake YB Durk, right now. And I ain't gonna lie to you, because I was even looking at my Spotify like recap. Yo, I think hip hop is due, like, YB has to stay out of jail. Yo, we're thirsty for his There's a
Get out in March, right?
Yeah, it's more music with him.
Wait on it. Wait on it.
YoungBoy's freedom might be short-lived. In a new push by the feds to keep him locked up, they referenced the passing of Jada Youngin, as the two had previously been friends with each other and Jay spoke very highly of him.
Me and YoungBoy, soon we will be making music together. I'm a fan of YoungBoy music. Yeah, we gonna collaborate pretty soon and put on for our state, because when we do, I feel like this is gonna be one of the hardest collaborations ever.
They ended up releasing a track together called Up With Me, but things turned sour when Jay posted a clip of an unreleased YoungBoy track on Instagram. YoungBoy fired back in the comments, "Delete this now. I don't know how you even got my song. I don't mess around like that." But Jay clapped back in this video.
I'm a real and I stand on everything, you hear me? Ain't no gonna play with me, ain't gonna disrespect me.
But Jay had another way to mess with YoungBoy, because he rapped, "You put that comment on my post. They laughed about that, but I was laughing when your baby mama was on me." As photos came out of Jay hanging out with YoungBoy's baby mama. In return, YoungBoy lost his mind and released this video.
You be hiding. We real headhunters, man. Come on, man. Open their mouth, came to what they was, man. Oh,
Although YoungBoy's had more legal troubles because he skipped a court hearing in another state, which triggered the FBI to be after him. They staked out his mansion and waited for him to leave. Once YoungBoy finally got in his car and left the property, they tailed him on the highway and attempted to pull him over. Ultimately, YoungBoy decided to floor it down the highway instead of pulling over. Once YoungBoy ran into traffic, he took off into the regular streets. Once he got a gap in front of the agents, he quickly jumped out the car and started a chase on foot. But it was a dumb move from YoungBoy. He was dressed in designer shoes, tight jeans, a jacket, and diamond chains. With YoungBoy running on foot, a fan noticed him running and took pictures of him trying to flee from the feds.
You want to talk to us? Tell us what happened,
As soon as we're done with everything, we'll take off the handcuffs, okay? But
yeah, I don't have a statement. I don't want to be detained in these handcuffs like this. I'm properly if I haven't committed a crime or done nothing.
Okay. All right, give us a second, okay?
Okay, no voluntary statement.
Hey, he's not willing to give a statement.
Any statement, any voluntary statement?
No, sir. Mr. Martinez, I don't want to give a statement. I don't want to be in this.
These were serious charges for YoungBoy. He faced counts including reckless driving and resisting arrest, which the judge didn't take lightly. But with the money YoungBoy has, he hired top-tier lawyers and posted bond.
For YoungBoy out of California is a $540,000 bond. He put up $500,000 in cash. In addition, he put up as collateral 2 properties worth in excess of $1.5 million, and he has to wear an ankle monitor. However, he's not going to be on house arrest. According to the bond set by the California judge, he simply has to wear the ankle monitor but is otherwise free to travel. Given that the California judge found that these circumstances are sufficient for a YoungBoy, why would a Louisiana judge find any differently? The Louisiana judge is looking at the same facts, he's looking at the same charges, and he's making a decision under the exact same federal law. Sure, it's a different court and a different circuit, and the way the laws are applied varies somewhat. It shouldn't vary a lot. If this California judge said, hey, this much money and these restrictions are good, it would be very, very weird for a Louisiana judge to say, oh no amount of money and no restrictions. That would be very uncommon.
Despite his criminal history, YoungBoy somehow managed to land a 23-month sentence, which is why it's so confusing to other rappers. Typically, if you have a long criminal history, you get extended prison sentences, yet YoungBoy hasn't had that. However, YoungBoy is still in a concerning position. He needs to stay out of old habits, or his freedom won't last long. Because he used to be focused on his music career, but in recent years, he changed to having more beef with everyone around him instead. One clear conflict with another rapper was with NLE Choppa, who originally dropped a track called Free YoungBoy in hopes of getting him released, but Choppa switched sides after YoungBoy disrespected Von following his passing. YoungBoy released a 2022 song called Bring the Hook, repeatedly going after King Von after his passing. This stirred reactions across the industry, with academics tweeting, "YoungBoy on demon time right now," and he dropping another whole tape. Lil Reese fired back, "That ain't no demon time, he just rapping like the rest of these rappers all rap." Choppa agreed with Reese, saying, "I stamped that," as he didn't like YoungBoy, taking shots at someone who couldn't defend himself. With YoungBoy unhappy with Choppa, he clapped back with the lyrics, "I bet your mama be destroyed when we send you to God for making statements, choosing sides about my beef with them boys. I could say I saw it, you could say I was your favorite." This led Choppa to explain his stance on Academics podcast.
He's not able to defend his name, bro, and it be a lot going on within his name about him when, to me, bro, he a real stand-up dude, and it was just unfortunate how it happened. Like, he came to a person as a man.
He elaborated further in an interview with DJ Vlad.
When you heard that, what'd you think?
It was funny to me. I feel like, it's not serious when it hit the net. It's funny. It's just entertainment to me.
Yeah.
It was entertaining. Good song. Nice bars.
Choppa also issued a statement saying, "YoungBoy needs to be more careful. He's got a lot of people looking up to him, and he needs to set a better example. He needs to stay out of trouble and focus on his music." However, a rapper being ready to be released is Pooh Shiesty. Did you know the Pooh Shiesty release date was just leaked by his mother on Facebook? He's being released despite committing a serious armed robbery, flexing it online, and fleeing from police in a jet.
The barrage of sending 2 people to the hospital, and it lands a rapper in jail. 7 Sheldon Fox with the exclusive.
Police and prosecutors say Pooh Shiesty was part of the group that ended up in this parking lot that October afternoon where the flew, and it happened right across the street from the police department and town hall here in Bay Harbor Islands.
As DJ Academics tweeted, "Pooh Shiesty is at a halfway house. He's gonna be home soon," as he was lucky enough to have his lawyers secure him a proffer deal to have him released in 2025. Many rappers looked at it as snitching, but his friend Big 30 defended him on Instagram Live.
My mama, if you see his paperwork, my mama, I do whatever y'all tell me to do, cause my eyebrow, mustache, hair, I throw my chains in the river and jump in and if Shiesty snitch. Go home, take one to the. I ain't got no rat.
Rappers dissed him for snitching, but didn't know the truth behind his case, because even Academics was explaining how his jail situation isn't normal.
But salute to Pooh Shiesty, who looked like he's absolutely chilling in jail. My boy got a little richer than Melly. You know what I mean? Got the haircut all right. You know what I mean?
They be playing Fortnite Mobile.
In jail? Oh, he got the Timbs on. They look fresh as well. Yo, this so chilling in prison. He got 2 watches. Like, you know what I mean? Like, 2 watches, not even 1.
But to understand his official release date, it's important to learn the latest update in his case, because crime documents reveal Shisty and his friends set up a meeting for high-end sneakers and narcotics. On camera, you can see Pooh Shiesty arriving to the meet driving a bright green McLaren. While he waited for the seller's arrival, Shisty and his boy created a plan to steal the items if the cost was too much. Once the seller got there, Shisty began doing a legit check on the high-end sneakers, which gave his friend a chance to get into position for the robbery. While the deal was going down, Shisty began trying to negotiate on the price of the goods, but the seller wasn't budging. With Shisty not getting his way and getting heated, he decided he'd pull off the robbery, as we saw Shisty grabbing a firearm from out of his waistband. Immediately, the 2 sellers began trying to duck behind their car for cover, but they were too slow, cause Shisty ended up hitting both of them, one in the backside and one in the hip. While Shisty was taking care of the sellers, his friend grabbed the sneakers and narcotics and threw them into the McLaren while hopping into the passenger seat. Shisty gives a couple more looks towards the sellers to make sure they aren't trying to pull anything, jumps in his car and slams the door shut before speeding off. The only issue with this is the money he was gonna buy the goods with were in his car's side door pocket. So when Shisty slammed the door down before speeding off, a Louis Vuitton bag fit with $40,000 in cash fell onto the ground. With Shisty in a rush, he didn't even realize the bag fell out and was focused on speeding away. So not only did Shisty commit a crime to get the sneakers and narcotics for free, but he just made the robbery completely useless after losing his 40 grand in the bag. Not to mention, this bag later provided the feds with a lot of evidence on Shisty, but more on that later. After speeding out of the parking lot, Shisty went to the closest Miami airport and flew out in a private jet out of the state, although the feds caught up with Shisty just a couple days later.
The town of Bay Harbor Island says you're wanted with
He's also charged with armed robbery, battery in their affidavit, saying the 2 left the state in a private jet.
Once booked into jail, he bonded out for $30,000, and after being on bond for 2 months, he was arrested and had a court appearance.
Mr. Williams, you were arrested for pursuant to an arrest warrant. It was issued June 3rd. It's charging you. You have 2 attorneys here, or is it? I'm sorry, 2 attorneys in the state. Go ahead. You want to announce again?
Brad Cohen and Sam Zegny for the defendant.
Right. Have you had a chance to review?
Yes, Judge, we have.
But ultimately, Shisty did his proffer deal, and Academics announced Pooh Shiesty sentenced to 63 months in prison. He was facing 8 years, as Shisty was officially sentenced for 63 months on firearm charges and robbery, which many believed his sentence was too small, as Academics couldn't even believe it when he found out.
And I think he's coming home like next year, maybe the year after. However, it looked like he's, taking responsibility of whatever happened and doing his time, not crying, clearly trying to let people know he's straight. And I do think when he comes back out, granted, as long as it's not like too far from now, if he comes back in a year, he's good. I still think even within 2 years.
Shisty's mother even wrote on her Facebook page saying, "It's over." However, with Shisty getting into a lot of crime, many fans and rappers called him out for trying to boost his rap career with a criminal case. However, Shisty's been doing this his whole life. It's just that now he has money and fame, yet continues to do it anyway.
Yeah, I mean, look, Pooh Shiesty was probably the biggest artist that he signed in recent memory. But Pooh Shiesty had a history of crimes before he ever signed to Gucci. It ain't like, he was like a school and Gucci suddenly put him in a bad direction. No, he was already doing it. Gucci wasn't around when he was doing all the crazy that they got him locked up for. It just is what it is. When
Pooh Shiesty's in prison right now for somebody in the ass with a code while sitting inside of a McLaren.
Yeah.
Some Grand Theft Auto shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? But that's who he was before that. So it's like, that ain't a surprise. And Gucci ain't gonna tell you like he can't just change who you are as a person. So it's like, but people come up with the conspiracy theories and the life insurance, whatever.
Although the main reason for Shiesty's smaller prison sentence is because of the proffer deal he created with the feds. While at first making a deal with the feds sounds like he snitched, in reality, all he did was snitch on himself. He told the judge and prosecutors how he committed the crime with details of how he fled from police and ordered the private jet. Because a judge will reward any criminal who is willing to make the trial process as easy as possible, saving everybody their time. But the last thing they made Shiesty do was outline the mistakes he made. Because the first mistake he made was committing an armed robbery right beside a police station. The video footage of the crime going down is recorded from a police station's camera. So once firearms were heard in the area, the police were quick to get on scene. With law enforcement immediately knowing the location of the crime, they pulled their security camera footage to get a jump on the investigation. But more importantly, with the police arriving on scene so fast, they were the ones to pick up the Louis Vuitton bag with money. The feds had a couple tips from the public on who might have been behind the crime, so they checked out Shiesty's Instagram. The feds downloaded a few pictures of Shiesty flexing money across his body, and with creative detective work, they found out that the serial numbers on the money from Shiesty's Instagram matched the serial numbers on the bills in the Louis Vuitton bag. But this leads us to the biggest mistake of all, because not only did the money from Shiesty's Instagram match up, but Shiesty literally posted a selfie of himself with the McLaren that he committed the armed robbery with, as he posted the photo of himself with the car on the same day he did the crime. However, rappers, despite everything, kept calling Shiesty a snitch. This gave Shiesty a bad rep in the game, so in order to respond back, Shiesty sent out a message from jail, calling out his ops for disrespecting him and that he's the one on top still. King Shiesty tapping in from the middle of the penitentiary. I remain untouched. I have millions in double digits. Tell Google to fix my net worth. We can verify that right now. I'm locked up, not messed up. I was 21 up 8 figures. Jay-Z can't even relate to my money. Stop playing with my name before I buy one of you for sale. You guys aren't anything. I put on this stuff every day, twice on Sundays. I'm on the same stuff from Tokyo to Tennessee. I ain't never got scared that no one ever played with me. When I was free or in jail, I'm still the man of Memphis, the king no matter what jungle. Slick is almost the same man, just a little more powerful. But talking about Baby Larry, how did you let a man in the feds outdo you? You can't beat me. You need your hands in the game before you do something with me. For my fans, supporters, and loved ones holding me down every day, keep it solid. I promise it doesn't go unnoticed. I see everything and have something special for all of y'all. The rest of you guys are done. Keep hating, false advertising, backbiting, and counting me out. It's up and stuck like a treehouse. I'm touching down. I got a chip on my shoulder. I'm going 100% on you guys. Shiesty remained standing tall while on the inside, but we even saw him share this message in an interview.
Really when I got signed, but I'm gonna tell you before I got signed, like breaking news. The verse on breaking news made everybody go crazy, and folks started saying I'm their favorite rapper already, so I'm gonna stop.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It just made me go hard.
So the success kind of gave you the confidence to really keep it up?
Yeah, they rocking with me for sure.
Man.
It's my first verse.
However, more rappers are looking forward to being released from jail. Rappers like Tory Lanez, Tay K, Fetty Wap, Blueface, TSU Surf, Casanova, Mystical, Max B, Lol G, Bankroll Freddy, Dougie B, 42 Doug, and Lil Reese.